Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Sadhguru. And I think he has a really powerful message for us today. His message could be summed up in this question. The question would be, how will you live your life when your fears no longer have any power over you? How will you live your life when your fears no longer have any power over you? Can you imagine that it could be possible that your fears have no power over you anymore? How would you show up every day? How would you live your life? Maggie, good morning. Somebody, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Love seeing your faces. Have you ever stopped to admire a tree? There's a thought. Have you ever stopped to admire a tree, towering strong, branches reaching for the sun, leaves whispering secrets in the breeze? Imagine if you could ask that tree how it feels about its existence. Would it brag about its shade? Would it boast about its fruit? Danae, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Hello. Sadhguru says, if you ask a tree how he feels to know that he is spreading his fragrance and making people happy, I don't think a tree looks at it that way. I am just like that, and it's just my nature to be like this, to be the way that I am. What if humans are all just like this tree? Our natural state is to grow to our full potential without the need for a slave master to motivate us. Bearing fruit and spreading our fragrance, being a support for those around us, not because we're trying to be, but because this is just the way we are. If this is true for us, if growth is our natural state, then what is it that so often gets in the way? Why do we so often feel like people don't grow into their potential unless there's someone with a whip whipping them into action? What is it that prevents us from living our full potential? It is only our fears. Consider this for a moment. If the tree had fear of failure, if the tree was intimidated by bigger, taller, more beautiful trees, if the tree couldn't bear to look at itself in the mirror, would it continue to grow or would it shrink? A few more thoughts from Sadhguru. He says, fears and insecurities are unconsciously created by you. If you do not create them, they do not exist. The fear is simply because you are not living with life. You are living in your mind, says Sadhguru. He says the fear of suffering makes your life a half step. Freedom from the fear of suffering is needed for a full stride life. Being free from the fear of suffering is what we need to live to the fullest, says Sadhguru. When a human is in competition, when he is in fear of failure, he will only do little better than somebody else. So the human genius is completely missing today. You are destroying the human genius with fear. It may be that the only thing you need to do is deliberately work your way through your fears, coming face to face with each one until it's not so scary to look into its eyes anymore. What will you be? How will you live when your fears of who you are and who you are not don't have any more power over you? Won't you naturally live your full potential, spreading your fragrance and making people happy? This is our meditation today. Good morning, Pat. Good to see you. And if you're ready, let's float away on this journey together. You can close your eyes and we'll start with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders and drop your head. Continue your own full body breathing while we continue the conversation on fear. With every inhale, feel your body rise. With every exhale, feel into your body falling. And entertain this thought for a moment. You were born from your original being into this body. From soul into newborn human form. From that original being, through all of the moments of your life, into this moment right now. How many moments, instances with fear has this body experienced up until this moment? How many fears encountered from birth, from pure being until now? And we have to understand that this body and all of its encounter with fear has made adaptations, has learned to put on layers of armor, wear masks, make meaning out of all of the fear that it has encountered. How many of our actions today happen without us knowing, really deeply knowing why we take the action we take? Simply because it's a reaction that we have become programmed with throughout all of our interaction with fear. So with every exhale, as you soften your body, try and also soften the layers of armor. Try and put down the masks. With every exhale, as you soften your body, reflect on these questions. Who am I really? If all of the layers of armor I picked up and the masks I put on, if none of them are my original being, but they're all my reaction to fear, then who am I when I put down the layers of armor? Who am I when I put down the masks? Who will I be if I step into this world unafraid and know that your soul already knows the answer? Your soul already is that. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel softness slip in and settle in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness settles in your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I'll ask the same question again. Who are you underneath all of the fear? Take your next big breath. Our journey today explores fear. Explores who we might have become because of all the fear we have experienced, and also explores who we might be without the fear. In this exploration, we'll look at fear through a very specific lens, through how we create. Because as we show up every day to create, we can create from a place of fear or from a place of freedom, a place free from fear. So we were exploring how this is different from one to the other. We'll start with fear, creating in fear. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, ask yourself this question. What am I trying to create, but motivated by fear? How am I trying to create from a place of fear? Take your next big breath. As we've already discussed, since we were born, these bodies have been exposed to multiple experiences with fear. And in response to fear, a whole lot of programming has been done. We can call them layers of armor and masks to protect ourselves against danger. But how do we create when we create from this place? When it is from our reactivity to the world that we create, or trying to create through all these masks, through all these layers of armor, How do you create from a place of fear? Or what have you been trying to create from a place of fear? Take your next big breath. How do you deal with the fear of failure? Does the fear of failure often inspire you to take a big step forward? Or does the fear of failure more often paralyze you? What has been your experience with fear of failure? Take your next big breath. Falling into the trap of creating from a place of fear is very natural. We live in a world where we have to put food on the table, keep a roof over our heads. But creating in fear traps us in creating while looking over our shoulder. Creating in fear means the highest potential we can reach is just outrunning the closest thing that scares us. Can you sense how limiting it is to create while looking over your shoulder? Take your next big breath. We can create very successfully from a place of fear. We can successfully put a beautiful roof over our heads. We can successfully put a lot of food on our table. But look back at the things you have created in the past. And if they came from a place of fear, even if it was successful, does it really ever lead to feeling free? Does it ever come with a sense of freedom? Take your next big breath. So how about creating from the other side of this coin? How about creating in freedom? Instead of creating while looking over my shoulder, what if I look in the other direction? What could that feel like? Take your next big breath. Your original being is a born creator. You were created to create. Creating is your birthright. What does it look like when you set yourself goals based on your potential? Not goals based on the trouble you need to avoid, the punishment you need to avoid, but based on the being that you are and the potential you bring. What would your goals look like if they were based only on your potential? Take your next big breath. What if you became so in tune with your soul that you understood on a really deep level what your soul is here to express? And what if the way you create starts shifting? Only inspired by your soul's expression. What is it that your soul wants to express? Take your next big breath. We'll take one more big breath together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you again Sadhguru's message for us this morning. He says, if you ask a tree how he feels to know that he's spreading his fragrance and making people happy, I don't think a tree looks at it that way. I am just like that, and this is just my nature to be like this. Can we embrace that as our natural state too? That just like a tree, our natural state is to just grow. To just grow into the biggest, tallest version of ourselves. Bearing fruit that serve our environment, providing shade, not needing a slave master with a whip and punishment for us to grow a little further. But because we have thrown off our fears, because we've stopped creating by looking over our shoulder, because we've stopped only just staying ahead of bad consequences, we've realized who we are. We are being the expression of our soul. And naturally we rise to our potential. What if for now you don't need to do anything differently? You don't need to change jobs. But in what you're doing already, what if you asked for your soul's expression to become clear in what you're already doing? And then, yes, perhaps, what if there is something different for you to do? Who are you when you've taken off all the layers of armor? Who are you when you've taken off all of the masks? Who are you really underneath all of the fear? And know that your soul already is that. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in Thank you for a journey of slowly peeling back the layers of armor, all of the old responses to a scary world. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for a journey of slowly recognizing the masks, the ways in which we are not being ourselves in order to fit in, and slowly becoming comfortable taking off those masks and showing our true face. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for slowly learning who the true being is underneath all of the fear. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for a journey of slowly learning how to take new wobbly steps as my original being and the expression of my soul. Thank you for slowly getting to see who I really am underneath all of the fear. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Please remember that your soul is already that. There's actually nothing to grow into. It's just all of the old programming that we need to slowly shake off. Hubertus, good morning. Thank you for popping in. Dion, it is so good to see you. Hello, I hope you're well. Leshna, a very good morning. Always so happy to see you pop in. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Sunlady. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Maggie. Have a beautiful day, everybody. The very simplistic recipe for this process is to be able to come face to face with every one of our fears, look them each in the eyes until it becomes not so scary to look at these old fears anymore. Love you lots. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.